students. My name is Gale. I am very excited to be here today amongst such talented and ambitious students. I have to say kudos to all of you for sacrificing your Saturday to be hanging out with a bunch of lawyers. It is truly a pleasure to have all of you here tonight. And what a fantastic job you all did in your moots. So I had to reflect on my undergrad experience to figure out how the heck I became a lawyer. In my opinion, the problem with undergrad is that you have so many options and yet so little. The options are really get a job or stay in school. Sure, you can travel, but eventually it's work or do some post-grad. As someone who majored in the Media Information Technoculture program at Western, I didn't know which path I wanted to take when I graduated. A Master's of Journalism made the most sense for me at the time, and I still like reading, writing, and speaking. I thought that my choices were between going to work and doing a Master's of Journalism. But I didn't plan on being a lawyer. I didn't think I was capable of doing it, but I knew if I didn't at least try, I would always regret not following my dream. If you are on the fence, just know that going to law school doesn't mean you have to be a lawyer. You can go into politics, public policy, tech, anything you want. There is no downside to law school, except for maybe the cost. I decided to go to law school in the UK because I wanted to study in a place where I could travel and experience new things. I thought I would leave Toronto behind and move to London, England permanently. Life in the UK was completely different than anything I ever experienced before. The only thing that was familiar was the English language. Nonetheless, I had to learn a new one, the language of law. Heading into law school, I didn't know if I made the right choice. My peers were competitive, and I didn't know if I had what it takes. Everyone feels this way in law school. In second year, I had to write a paper for constitutional law about how the UK would leave the EU. This was before Brexit. I went to my professor, and I said, "You have to tell me what to write. I have no clue where to even begin." And he goes, "Oh, Shane, law school, isn't it supposed to be hard?" And it was hard, but also rewarding, fulfilling, and worthwhile. Every good story has to have a romance, and this story is no exception. I fell in love with London. Yes, with the law, but also with my life partner. No, not just my dog, Oscar, who will always be the first love of my life. Aww. My romantic story began with a broken phone, getting lost, and chasing after my date. But don't worry, it gets better. My date turned into my travel companion, and we explored the world together. Eventually, when I married this British man, we had a travel-themed wedding. Back to reality. I graduated top of my class. However, graduating top of your class doesn't always mean you get the articling position. As a foreign student, I had to write 7 exams to qualify my UK degree to Canadian standards. These exams are the National Committee on Accreditation exams, also called the NCA exams. Writing these exams while working full-time as a paralegal in the UK was lonely and intimidating. I would write one exam and think, only 6 more to go. I chipped away at these exams for a year with the hope to move back to Toronto and become a lawyer. I came back to Canada with a law degree, work experience, and a ring on my finger. I didn't expect to have any of these things when I left Canada. I realized that foreign students don't have the same built-in support system that Ontario students have. I navigated the NCA process on my own, and through this difficult time, I gained knowledge and insight that I wanted to pass on to other students so that they don't have to go through the same struggle I went through. I later started a networking group for students who studied abroad. Like myself, I called it the NCA Network. I also began the part-time General Masters of Law program at Osgoode because I wanted to learn different practice areas, and I have a vision of me teaching law in the future. While pursuing my LLM, I was looking for an articling position, which for me was like finding a needle in a haystack because I didn't take the regular path to become a lawyer in Ontario. I was fortunate to be offered a position with the lawyer I volunteered with before I went to law school. He practiced estate litigation, which is a niche area of law regarding disputes over estate matters, which put simply is when families fight over their inheritance. This area of law is tricky as trust law can be very complex and it can be very emotional as families are grieving the loss of their loved ones and fighting with their siblings at the same time. It was rewarding to help people through this tough time in their lives. After articling, I moved to a larger estate litigation firm where I handled larger estate matters and delved deeper into this area of law. I also started my blog, Law for Millennials, which provides easy-to-understand legal information focused on issues millennials face. Yes, millennials face different issues than everybody else, and it's always good to have a blog. I like that. The success of my NCA Network and Law for Millennials gave me the confidence to branch on my own and start my own law firm. I decided to practice only estate litigation, my personal favorite area of law, and I opened Gale Law in January of this year. I'm working hard to build up a successful law firm, and who knows, maybe one day one of you will be my articling students. It's hard to imagine that when I was in your position, finishing undergrad, that at just 29 years old, I would have my own law firm. The journey hasn't always been easy, but I dream big, and you should too. Anything is possible, put your mind to it. Thank you, guys.